What's good, everybody? Back once again, and today is my little 2 cents into this whole discussion of what should the Hornets do with the number 2 pick. Now, I would like the draft is like next week, so now it's been a good amount of time of going through, seeing stuff, hearing what people have to say, reading what I guess the fans sort of want to do, and I was like, it's really wild. Like since we got the number 2 pick, you know, which gets a disappointment because everybody wanted Vic, of course, but it really seemed like it became a bigger debate of who to get, Scoot or Miller, because for the longest time it's pretty much been Scoot as number 2 and Miller's number 3. It's really been like those three mainly, and then sort of like the twins or something like that. So now I've been able to see both sides of everything. Cause at first I was just like, it was like no brainer, take Scoot and whatnot. But I can also see the reason to take Miller as well. I feel like there's so many things to think about this in a way that it seems like I don't think there's a perfect answer. And like, okay, so I sort of threw this out. I was like on my Reddit and stuff like that. It was something I was thinking about. Is that I wonder if the Miles Bridges thing, how does that factor into this? And this is sort of what I meant. If Bridges didn't go through his situation, then we would have pretty much the 3 solidified. You would know that Miles Bridges straight up, and therefore you would be like, cool. We know. I was like Marcus Williams. He looked like he's a pretty good. I was like he showed flashes in his rookie year. He's gonna be the 5. I'm pretty sure they're going to probably re-sign P.J. Washington unless somebody comes out the blue and just hit him with a big contract. So that's the 4. With Rozier, he's been in trade talks for a while. I don't really see them really moving him this year. I think they might probably move him next year. I don't think that. I think because he could score the ball and how LaMelo been hurt, Rozier is going to stay. But the intriguing scenario is basically, okay, who fits with who between Scoot and Miller and whatnot. So pretty much soon we got number 2 pick. I'm like, take Scoot. Everybody's like, no, you got LaMelo. What's the point? I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm like, you can play both of them together, and like eventually once he knocks like the rookiness off or whatever, how that's going to go, especially with Clifford as a coach. But you can play both of them. LaMelo Ball is 6'5", 6'6". Like, he's tall. So it's not, you won't run into the same situation like Portland where they had 2 dudes who were pretty much underneath 6'4", basically as your backcourt. Or even something like the Wizards where they had John Wall and they had Bradley Beal. They both were like 6'3" type of guards. And I was like, and so it's a smaller backcourt. Now LaMelo's not a defender by any means, but you, at least with his length, you won't be, you won't already be fighting a losing battle as far as when you already Cleveland, how they have Garland and they have Mitchell, and both of them are pretty much like 6'2", so it's like you got a small backcourt or whatnot. But also too that like PJ and Mark Williams back there in the back, just to basically funnel out whoever comes in there after they beat one of them. I was like, so you got 2 dudes in the back that could sort of, match up. Like PJ ain't like great on ball, not necessarily, but I was like, but he got a crazy like wingspan where he can also get block shots and stuff like that as well. And we already seen what Mark Williams could pretty much do. Then you got other people like Kai Jones and stuff like that will probably and Nick Richardson that'll factor in. So you shouldn't be that hard set. But I think everybody goes to Scoot and him not really being able to shoot. Also, one, he's young, so you hope that comes along. But I was like, but you'll have LaMelo, you'll have PJ, you'll have Bridges, you'll have Rozier. You have so many people that can shoot that you don't need him to necessarily shoot. I think what I was like, and now Miller on the other hand, I was like, can shoot. I was like, he can also play make like Scoot. Uh, but Scoot's a point guard, so that's where we sort of go a lot more than Miller. But Miller can shoot from deep. I was like, he can also create his shot as well too. But I was like, he's a shooter, but he's also 6'9". So what I seen is, so I was like, I think he is a good pick. Basically, if you keep Bridges, he could play the 2. And that way you could just have a sort of a really tall, like a really weird type of lineup. But he allows you to pretty much switch everything. LaMelo 6'6", he's 6'9", Bridges 6'5", 6'6", 6'5", PJ's like 6'7", Mark Williams like 7 feet. So that means that no matter what, any type of switches, you're getting the same type of person, height wise at least. Defense and stuff like that differ. But I was like, so he'll give. So I'm like, so that's a different look than what Scoot can give you. Even if Miller's not necessarily going to be like some defensive ace or whatever, 6'9" is still 6'9", and if you play him in that lineup, But also, if you do get rid of Bridges, or or something goes with like I was like, I expect that they'll probably just sign them at the end of the year, see how everything goes and stuff. But say you do get rid of Bridges, now Miller just steps into the 3rd spot, so now that works as much. But speaking of like how that works, if you try to get rid of one for the other, Scoot I think also works if LaMelo gets hurt, and LaMelo's been injured a couple of years. So therefore, having Scoot, now you have another guy that can tote the rock, handle the offense, and all this other stuff, and you might not miss a beat in the same way that like once LaMelo go down, we're pretty much screwed at that point of actually being able to do anything at all. And not saying that Scoot is going to be like crazy revolutionary, something like that, as far as like playing, but I'm saying but now between him and like say I was like if they bring like Dennis Smith back, I was like there was like Theo also there running some of the point. I was like now you got like more of a rotation to handle LaMelo being hurt compared to like last year where it was just like they were playing Dennis Smith like, and if he couldn't go, they were sort of, it just seemed like there was no way to orchestrate the offense and keep everybody in their spots, cause and I was like sometimes I feel like Rozier playing like a little bit out of like spot sometimes, so you putting a lot on him. But why I think I would probably choose Scoot other than other than like if LaMelo gets hurt, you got insurance, and you could sort of do like a 2-guard combo. Like I think that's what they're gonna try and probably Detroit with Cade and Ivy. But is that the way I was like he had a different play compared to everybody else, and it was sort of what they were missing when they didn't have Bridges, because they didn't have nobody to really attack the basket. Like Rozier likes to really shoot. He'll go to the basket every now and then, but he really likes to shoot. I was like LaMelo. I was like he can go to the basket as well, but he sort of likes to set up, pass the ball, get it on like some cuts and stuff like that. So he sort of, I was like, so he can go to the basket, but that's not what he does. Bridges is somebody that will attack the basket because he also can dunk over anybody, while also being outside and shoot a jump shot. But then there's nobody else that's willing to attack the paint. That's where Scoot comes in. Where I'm like, Scoot will be surrounded by so many people that like to shoot, and guess what? He's going to do a lot more cuts. I would like he's going to be aggressive. Think like Russell Westbrook, except for everybody else can carry more of the offense and shoot. Now that becomes even more dangerous because now at 6'2", I was like, but he's like, I can't do that, but but he's built to where I'm like, he can go inside, take more of the punishments, use some of his athleticism to like get them in foul trouble. He could do I was like, because of that, he could do a lot more kickouts and stuff like that because he's gonna be like going to the hole so much, and it's gonna be as one of those things where like, do you stay on the outside shots and let him go to the paint a lot, or if he goes to the paint, he gets out. What you do then? And I don't think the Hornets have that element, and I don't think Brandon Miller will bring that element. I almost feel like who really knows how they'll all end up? Nobody truly knows. And the Hornets haven't had a good track of these high picks coming in and really, from like Monk, I was like, he wasn't really giving it a shot, and it was like, eh. I mean, he had shot, and it was a little bit of like Clifford and Rhino and stuff to where it was like work, but didn't. Book Night is also like the same thing. We're waiting on to see how Thor really does, and Kai Jones, and I was like seeing how I was like Mars a good rotational piece, but I feel like I was like, for what we know of like how Scoot's been sort of talking about this whole time, and he has like some like this like relentlessness to go into the basket, and I don't think Miller. Like I said, I don't think Miller has that, but I feel like Miller is like when a team chooses for fit and need, Scoot is trying to take the best player available, and Hornets need to take the best player available. Not really worried about fits or nothing like that. And with multiple draft picks later on, because there's like four, I was like, they got 4 more picks. Which I feel like, because there's so many young people on the Hornets, that's a little bit too much. Now they're going to have to figure out some way to do it. Or maybe they like package, a couple of them and like move them for like just a nice player or piece, or maybe you try to use one of those later picks and get off Hayward contract. But I think I still am wanting to go with Scoot here. I'm like, I don't think this team is going to be in any like rush or really be able to actually do anything to like playoff type of thing. So, but I mean, but once again, I was like, and I feel like also what makes this hard is also that I'm like, I feel like Clifford's here, but I don't think he's gonna be here next year. So that means that you don't really have a team. You don't have a sense of direction with the team. Cause I'm like, if you want to do something where we're just gonna like space them out and like type of thing, then I'm like, okay, cool, pick Miller and have LaMelo just run the offense, and you just got your center just playing defense. But I'm like, so we don't know what to play. I'm like, well, Scoot is insurance, and he can also. I was like, I feel like him. If he's more like I'm going to the basket while working on the jump shot, then I feel like that works a lot better. As we've seen in a lot of the playoffs, that I'm like, when your shot ain't falling, what you should do, but people don't. And I'm like, Miller, if his shot ain't falling, is he just a guy that's just standing out there? But anyway. That was just my little 2% here. Anyway, you like any of this thought process, analysis? I mean, y'all figure out whatever to call it. Hey, if you liked it, thanks. I appreciate it. If not, hey, maybe next time. But until then, peace. I'm out.